Hey, this is Eve from Detoxing the Body, Help for Chemical Sensitivity on Facebook, and the book Detox with Ease. I just want to come on for 1 second to talk to you if you have a friend or a loved one who has multiple chemical sensitivity. It's got some other names, but that's the basic name for it. I used to have this 10 years ago, and it was horrible. And one of the worst parts of it was the misunderstandings with friends and the not understanding of doctors, and nobody believes you. Everyone thinks you're crazy. People think you're just complaining too much. And it was awful. Like, I remember one Christmas, I was in my family, and my sister was making a lot of omelets with Teflon. Well, I couldn't be anywhere in a house with Teflon, but she had like 4 pans going. But it's Christmas, so I'm trying to handle it. And, I remember at one point it was making me so sick. I asked them, can they open a window? And then they're like, oh, I don't know. They were worried about the heat and the cost of the heat. Like, they were just really awful, and they were just so unkind. And that's what I found a lot in my chemical sensitivity journey. I just went outside, sat on the stoop of my sister's house, and cried. I couldn't make people understand. It's very hard to understand because you're like, you don't smell anything. What's your problem? So the thing is, if you have chemical sensitivity, your sense of smell is like 1 to 1,000 times that of a regular person, usually, in most cases. Some people, chemical sensitivity, they can't even smell. They just react to the chemicals. And we react in this very awful way. My reactions were neurological and also lungs. I developed asthma. I had chronic lung pain. I had a chronic cough. I just couldn't be around any toxins that you breathed in at all. And my lungs felt like a 100-year-old woman, smoker. Like, it was terrible. I was always super healthy, and I had asthma and whatnot. I don't have asthma anymore. I don't have chemical sensitivity anymore, but it was a huge, incredibly laborious journey to get well from it. I had to do many, many years of healing, and I had to do a lot of things. When you're having neurological issues and your nervous system is having issues, you have to do a lot of kind of calming, yoga, things like that. Most people are not going to understand, oh, well, she's always doing yoga. Like, why isn't she working like the rest of us, But it's basic survival. And I mean, the fact is that, I had friends. I really, after a while, I just gave up all friends and family because it just couldn't work. I remember like getting together with my sister, and like I would get in the car, and whatever perfume I'd be smelling would really cause me a lot of issues. And she was like, no, I don't have any perfume on, but it would be like perfume on her jacket from last week. So there was really no way to get cooperation. So finally I just gave up, trying to get people to not wear chemicals, because everyone's idea of fragrance and chemicals is like completely different, and people got so offended. And another part of the problem was whenever I was reacting to a chemical, my brain wasn't working. Like, you're in all-out fight or flight syndrome, and you're just trying to run away from that chemical, and you're like desperate to not be around it, and it's affecting your brain. I had a lot of brain fog. I had a lot of memory problems, which I don't have anymore, even after my concussion. Like, my memory was so bad. And then when you get this chemical reaction, like, you can't even think right. So right when you most need help is when you can't find the right words and you get super irritable. In my case, like irritability, a lot of people have brain damage, or older people are irritable, and that's why. It's because your brain's not firing, and just like, So I don't know what to say, but I just wanted to tell people's friends, this is real. It's a physical condition, even if the doctor says it's not. It is. Many tens of thousands of people worldwide have this. I have it, and I don't have it anymore. And it's a very complex syndrome. and it's very difficult to heal from, and it's very scary, and it tends to get worse and worse. I mean, a lot of people do have like anaphylactic shock. A lot of people do have even worse symptoms than I had, and you know, it's a very terrible illness. You get very sick. And there's all kinds of symptoms that go along with it. It could be a lot of different ones. Those are mine. Can't even remember all the things. I just remember just feeling so sick and so tired and so poisoned. You just feel poisoned. I mean, what's the word for it? You just feel like you've been poisoned, you know, anytime you get near around a chemical. So, because your body can't process any of it, you know, your body is saying, you know, one little tiny spot, and you know, it reacts as if you just had a drunk, you know, a bottle of turpentine or something. Like, it's very bad. So, just want to tell you that your friends are not crazy, your family members are not crazy. They are doing their best. I used to do my best to kind of get along and not make too many waves and not require too much special attention, but really I needed special attention in every moment. And you know, if you can try to understand and accommodate that, that's going to help these people heal, because whenever we're exposed to a toxic exposure, we're actually getting more sick. So, you know, if we can have a good amount of time, you know, living in clean air and doing all the other things we need to do to heal, we're going to probably get better. So I just want to say that, because that was really part of the worst was, how was your day today? That's so sweet. You know, my day was pretty good, pretty quiet. I got to go drive to somewhere right now, but I have to run, actually. I forget, and I just get on here and talk. But anyone with chemical sensitivity, my heart goes out to you. It was like a nightmare, because not only do you feel so sick and you know you're dying, your body's deteriorating in so many different ways, but, you know, a doctor can't, you know, understand it. They can't see it. You look like you're fine. They call them invisible illnesses. And you don't get any sympathy. All you get is like, oh, well, she's just has to have everything her own way, or oh, she's crazy, you know, stuff like that. So neither one of those is true. Yeah, do you have chemical sensitivity? Yeah, it's the worst. It's so awful, you know. And so if you even have one or two people that are really go out of their way to accommodate, like my friends really didn't wear perfume, but they needed to have like washed their clothes in baking soda first. And, you know, they're just, you know, if you want to have a friend, you have to really do some stuff, but it's very much appreciated. And you can't imagine the suffering that people with chemical sensitivity go through. It's so scary. And it's also so scary because nobody can help you. There's no, when you do, some countries do recognize the illness, some countries don't. A lot of doctors just never heard of it. I used to not tell my doctors that I had chemical sensitivity, because when I got it and I tried to get help with my doctor actually fired me from being a patient. And then I had two doctors after that who said they'd never heard of it, so they wouldn't take me as a patient. So then after that, I just lied and never mentioned it. And then my doctor actually got chemical sensitivity. So I was like, oh, thank God, for me, not for her. And so she understood. And then my last doctor, I didn't tell him until later, you know, because when you start off with that, people, I don't know, there's just a lot of weird reactions that you get. And it's awful going around trying to, you know, to find anyone to understand. It was super hard for me. All right, have a great day. Smash the likes. Put any questions below. And if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe and then the notifications. And you can come ask me any questions and we can chit chat about chemical sensitivity or any other thing. Ciao.